We're up and away around Europe as nations from around the continent gear up for the European 2020 qualifying campaigns as matchday number 1 gets underway. What's that? Kazakhstan. We'll talk about everything else apart from that next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. This time looking forward to matchday number 2, part 1 in the old 2020 qualifying campaign. And we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button and keep you bang up to date with all things European 2020, Blackburn Rovers, whoa, football, we're all here under one roof. Now, before we jump into part 2, or part 1 of matchday number 2, let's look back at matchday number 1, part 1, and see how we got on with our predictions, boys and girls. So let's take a look at it. Netherlands took on Belarus over in Group C, and the Netherlands kicked themselves off with a fantastic 4-0 win over Belarus to get themselves up to a fantastic start. And over, as for me, I got the old result right. I saw actually a 4-1 win in favour of the Netherlands, so just one goal shy. But ultimately, I got the correct result. Meanwhile, Northern Ireland in the same group, Group C, left it late, coming out top with a 2-0 win over Estonia, and that's what I got, folks. Bang on the nose, boys and girls. I saw that one as a 2-0 win in favour of Northern Ireland as well. Meanwhile, over in Group, what have we? Group E, Croatia took on Azerbaijan, and that ended up as a 2-1 win for the World Cup finalists. Croatia over Azerbaijan. I actually saw it as a 4-2 win. So again, got that one. Got the correct result, folks. Ultimately, I got the wrong scoreline. I got the scoreline wrong. Meanwhile, Slovakia in the same group, they got themselves off to a fantastic start with a 2-0 win over Hungary. And again, I got the one bang on the nose, boys and girls. So 4 out of 4 correct results, 2 correct scorelines, as I saw Slovakia coming out top with a 2-0 win. Now, here's my first banana skin over in Group G. Israel stumbled to a 1-1 draw up against Slovenia, and that's a good point for Slovenia over in Group G. You know, if you can pick something up away from home, you're going to go a long way in the old tournament. I actually saw it as a 2-0 win in favour of Israel, and that's Luna in the background. She's getting all excited about this one. Meanwhile, same group, Macedonia took on Latvia, and that ended up as a 3-1 win for the home nation, Macedonia, to get themselves top of Group G and put Latvia bottom of the pops already. I actually saw this as a 3-1 win as well, boys and girls. So 3 correct scorelines out of 5, and I've only got 1 banana skin thus far. Who said I'm bad at predictions, boys and girls, eh? Yes, not too bad indeed, but I did slip up here in the 2 heavyweights, Austria and Poland in Group G. I actually saw this as a draw, but ultimately Poland picked up an important away win to get their campaign off to a winning start. 1-0 win over in Austria. I actually saw this as a 2-2 draw. So 2 X marks the spots on me old predictions there, and here it is, boys and girls. It is probably one of the biggest upsets in international football, and probably one of the biggest shocking defeats for Scotland as they tumble. Yes, they were not even in this game. They looked absolutely dire. I watched this 3-0 loss to Kazakhstan. Who are they? Exactly. And I actually saw this as a 2-1 win in favour of the Scots. So they've got it all to do now as they take on the Minnows, San Marino, in the next game. I think it's in a couple of... Well, we're actually going to be predicting that game next, and that is over in Group I. Also in Group I, Cyprus took on San Marino, the Whipping Boys, and Cyprus duly obliged by sticking 5 past them to give themselves a fantastic opening start to the campaign. I actually saw this as a 3-0 win, boys and girls. So again, not too shabby. And wrapping it up, the bronze medalists over the World Cup, Belgium, up against the former hosts of the World Cup, Russia. Again, this was over in Group I, and Belgium got themselves off to a 3-1 win. And that's exactly what I predicted, boys and girls. 3-1 win in favour of Belgium. So look at that. Not too shabby. 3 out of the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 predictions I got wrong. And the rest, close or spot on. Yes, that's right, spot on. Now let's kick it on further to match day number 2, part 1 of the old European 2020 qualifying campaign. It's the same nations, same groups as well, but a few other teams who never actually got their games or their campaigns off to a start. Anyway, kicking us off, it will be Northern Ireland. This is over in Group C. Now Northern Ireland opened up with a win over Estonia, 2-0, and they take on Belarus this time out. Now Belarus opened up with a bit of a pasting by the Dutch, and I see them getting on the wrong side of another defeat as Northern Ireland will continue their winning start. 2-1 win for Northern Ireland over Belarus to give themselves 2 wins on the spin. Now here we go. This is the tasty one. One of the games of the qualifying campaign as a whole, folks, and it's early doors. It's the Dutch up against the Germans. two European powerhouses over in Group C. The Germans have yet to get the campaign off to a start. They did take on Serbia over on the earlier and friendly, and that ended up all square. And I see this as the Dutch nicking it 2-1 at Holland. I do think the Germans will get themselves a bit of a sweet revenge when the game comes to Germany. Meanwhile, Wales also on a similar boat. They took on Trinidad and Tobago in their first game of the old international break. They're over in Group E, so they'll get the campaign off against Slovakia. And I think initially I did actually predict Wales to win this, but I think Slovakia they're going to cause some problems within this group. So I expect a 2-2 draw, folks, because I'm not convinced yet with Ryan Giggs as manager of the Welsh team, and I'm not too sure if Gareth Bale's going to be available. If Gareth Bale plays, they've got a better chance, but he didn't feature in the old Trinidad game, so go figure. Meanwhile, Hungary take on Croatia in the same group, and again, this is a tough one. I was not convinced with Croatia. They did open with a 2-1 win over Azerbaijan, but yeah, I'm not convinced with them, and I think they're only going to get away with a point over in Hungary. Now, I have predicted all these games, I'll tell you that now, all these games, the whole tables, every single one of the games in my early predictions, and you can check back at what I initially thought, and already we can say that you can see that I've swayed a little bit within this group as I'm unconvinced by both Wales and Croatia, and I'm more likely to see Slovakia upset the odds within this group. Meanwhile, Israel will take on Austria over in Group G. Now, Israel opened up with that draw against Slovenia. Austria opened up with a defeat against probably favourites for this group, Poland. Now, this is a tough one as well. I think Israel are going to be tough to beat at home. I'm not saying they're going to run away with it and win every single game, but I still think they're going to get a point up against an unconvincing Austria. Maybe their golden generation was last in the for the World Cup, even though they didn't qualify. They just missed out. But I'm not convinced at the minute by Austria. They need to put down a performance, and they need to put it down quickly. Meanwhile, Poland take on Latvia, same group over in Group G. Now, Latvia opened up with a bit of a battering by Macedonia of all, and I see them getting on the receiving end and another battering as Poland will continue their impressive start. 2 wins on the spin. 3-0 win for Poland. Meanwhile, Slovenia will take on Macedonia in the same group as well, Group G. Obviously, Macedonia opened up with a win. Slovenia opened up with a draw. Difficult one, this one, but I'm going to go in favour of the home nation here. Slovenia with a 2-1 win over Macedonia. We'll see. We'll see after this. If Macedonia can pull off a win, you never know. They might be a surprise package in Group G to cause some problems. And probably, if they can get a win here, Macedonia, I'll change my prediction and go Poland and Macedonia to make the last 2. Meanwhile, over in Group I, it is Kazakhstan, the surprise package, up against Russia. Now, this is different. Obviously, people may look at Kazakhstan a little bit differently now after that performance, and rightly so. But Russia are a different kettle of fish. Kazakhstan, I guess, formerly part of Russia, so it's kind of it's like a little bit of an England-Scotland rivalry in a way, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's kind of Russia are going to be familiar with the terrain, with the environment, with the atmosphere. It's not going to be so out of whack. They're going to have a lot of support in the stands as well. So I expect Russia to not do a Scotland and come away with a 2-1 win over Kazakhstan to get their first win on the books, boys and girls. Meanwhile, there we go. It's the mighty Scots. Can they bounce back up against Minnows San Marino? Now, Cyprus put down a benchmark at over in the Mediterranean with a convincing 5-0 win to top the group as it stands. Scotland, on the other hand, I'm worried about them. Where the goal's going to come from. This is it now. These are the games, that can turn you. They need a win. They need a win, and I'm fearing it. I think I initially put 4 or 5-0, but I'll be lucky. We'll be lucky if Scotland put 3-0, 3 goals past San Marino, because I'm worried. I am worried. They didn't look like they were gonna. They did have a couple of chances, I guess, against Kazakhstan, but it was a surprise one. Anyway, I'm wrapping it up over in Group I. It is Cyprus up against bronze medalists of the World Cup, Belgium. Now, both these two nations kicked off with a win, but ultimately I think the Belgium are going to be too strong over Cyprus. Pick up a 3-1 away win to top the group over in Group I. Well, that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a good old thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things European 2020 qualifying campaign, Blackburn Rovers, and world football. We've got it all here under one roof, and loads of other predictions and stuff like that as we kick on further into the old European 2020 on the horizon. I've got my Premier League picks, La Liga, Serie A, and Bundesliga. And also, while I still have you folks, stick your own predictions down in here for Matchday number 2, part 1, to see who you think will come out on top. Can the Scots bounce back from that humiliation against Kazakhstan? What about Slovenia? Can they get some more points on the board? Or Macedonia, can they continue their impressive start to old 2020? What about the Dutch and the Germans? Big game, that one. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions about each and every one of the games down there in the comment section below. And while I still have you, check out the old description. Links to my other social media platforms are in the Twitter and Facebook. Catch up with me on the fly. Drop me a little tweet, retweet, say hello, DM, whatever you want to call it. So, folks, so far so good. I want to thank you all for watching the little mini series right now as we continue with the European 2020 qualifying campaign. It's been good, well received. I will be continuing it all the way through to the actual tournament itself. So tomorrow we'll be doing match day number 2, part 2, when we're looking at other nations. I think that includes England and co. So we'll be back tomorrow for some more predictions. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you're new, smash the subscribe. Back tomorrow for some more 2020 predictions. Enjoy the fun. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.